What's up, everybody? We are back with Anime Core Episode 8. My name is Jeremiah.
I'm Megan.
And this week we got some exciting stuff for our Anime News of the Week. Little sneak peek. A lot of Jujutsu Kaisen news. One that I heard that's pretty exciting is Jujutsu Kaisen might be getting a horror spin-off.
That's exciting.
Crazy.
And then on to our weekly news, which will come after Anime News of the Week. We're still watching To Be Hero X. We're still on that. And could it be Anime of the Year? Who's to say?
We got one episode left to find out. So, and then for our special segment for what anime we are watching and reviewing, we told you it was going to happen, and we keep our promises, if not months later. We have our Lazarus review. So make sure you guys stick around, and we'll get into anime news of the week.
All right. Don't laugh at me. We are back with Anime News of the Week, and apparently our cat is back too. If you're watching this on video, and if you're not, then
Go check out YouTube.
Yeah, go check out YouTube so you can see how adorable she is, but menace behavior for real. So kicking off the news with Assassination Classroom, a movie is announced after ending 9 years ago.
Yeah.
It will be premiering in Japan on March 20, 2026. And it will be episodes omitted from the original series. So
Yeah.
Assassination Classroom fans must be excited, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it ended 9 years ago. Which I guess makes sense because it's been a hot minute. That is cool. I don't know like how loyal the adaptation of the original anime was, and like if this is just like a few random episodes, or if it's like no, this is sweet parts from the manga that didn't make it. But I mean that's exciting, kind of random, but I haven't heard Assassination Classroom talked about in 9 years. So
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I see it a lot, actually.
It was big, like for sure, because that would have been 2016. So yeah, I'd say like it was really big, like 2017. I really remember hearing about it.
I feel like I still hear about it because I didn't get into anime until
that's true.
Years later. I think I've always heard it as like one of the saddest endings.
Really?
In an anime?
We tried to start it. We might need to get back into it.
I think we need to get back into it, yeah. But I hope I'm not like blaspheming the anime, but
No, everything. I mean, I've heard the people that like Assassination Classroom like it, and there's like, they're not the type that'll be like, you need to watch this anime right now and like shove it down your throat. They're just like, it's a good anime. You'll like it if you check it out. I don't care. You know, like they seem very self-contained, which is cool. Not like One Piece fans, and I am a One Piece fan, so I can say that about us.
Calling yourself out.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm sure I don't even need to go into all this stuff. If you're an anime fan, if you're a manga fan, you probably know everything I'm about to say. But Gege Akutami's next manga has been revealed to be a Jujutsu Kaisen continuation. Now, you might be wondering, okay, is this JJK Shippuden, or we get a nice little time skip and things continue? No, it is JJK Boruto, Next Generation. So it's titled Jujutsu Kaisen 3 Modulo, not Modelo, not sponsored, and is basically taking over with two of the main characters' grandkids. We're going to avoid spoilers on who their grandparents are, because this couple is not... You could probably guess it. I could probably give you, like, one guess, and you probably pick up on it instantly. Yeah. But two of the main characters... Gojo and Gato have kids, and their kids have kids, and these grandkids are going to be two of the main three for this new continuation. And the third is the one we've seen with the green hair and the eye.
Okay,
I think that's the third.
Is that the
I think
alien?
It's a good person, and yes, I believe it's an alien sorcerer. So basically, like I said, Boruto, we've got next generations, we've got aliens. It's going to be fantastic, I think.
Yeah, I loved the character design that we did see.
Oh yeah, everything
looked sick.
It looks different too from what JJK looked like as a manga. And so I'm excited to see how Gege changes up his animation, or not his animation, but like his illustration style for it. It's hilarious, and we've talked about this, how Black Clover always gets hated on for being a Naruto copy. And I've always pointed out how JJK is more of a Naruto copy than Black Clover is. And I think at this point, it's not going to beat the allegations.
That's true. Yeah, not you wearing a Toji shirt right now. I was like, wait, is Toji the snake guy of JJK?
Orochimaru.
Yeah.
He could be. He just keeps showing up.
He has the worm. It's purple.
Just less...
It's the color palette.
Just less creepy, maybe slight pedophilia.
Yeah.
Orochimaru had some issues.
Honestly, was Orochimaru a better dad than Toji?
Oh, yeah. Dude, if you... When we get to Boruto, Orochimaru's kind of a great dad.
That's so funny.
But it's also his clone, I believe, that he's a dad to.
That's weird.
It's Orochimaru. It's
He's so freaking weird.
More Jujutsu Kaisen news. Season 3 has been announced. And we will be getting the first 2 episodes of Perfect Preparation / Colon Games arc November 7th. It'll be a compilation film. If you guys remember... what was Solo Leveling? When Solo Leveling Season 2 dropped, they did a movie that had the first 2 episodes as well as kind of like a recap of what came before. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be a recap of Shibuya as well as the first 2 episodes of the next season.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
It'll be November 7th, I believe, in Japan. I haven't seen anything about an American release date, but if you're not going to be able to watch the movie, if you don't want to watch the movie, I think January is when we're expecting JJK Season 3. I don't know an official date, but it should be January, so not long after. And then, like we said at the top of the episode, a Jujutsu Kaisen horror spin-off novel is being rumored. I did hear
That's
it as
exciting.
a novel, so I wonder if it'll be a light novel rather than a manga.
That's actually interesting. So I wonder, like, will Gege still be the author of that?
I would assume it's something where, like, either Gege authors it or Gege has creative input into it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine they'd separate it from the mangaka too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know more about light novels than I do and how they operate, which might not be saying much.
It's not saying much at all, actually. I've really only read the Seventh Time Loop light novels because I know we're never getting a season 2 of Seventh Time Loop.
Were those written by the
Once again,
mangaka?
I am begging
Mangaka?
for Seventh Time Loop season 2. Please hear my cries. Please. I don't know, actually. But it is interesting because that one did have art in it as well. So some of like the key scenes you'll get like a nice little panel, which is always exciting. But I already hope that this like light novel or novels or whatever it is gets animated because horror in the JJK universe would be so fun to watch.
Yeah, no, horror would be perfect.
And you can get so creative with it. Like...
all right, so I'm on Comic Book Resources, I think, CBR. If you guys know anything, you know what CBR is. And this is saying that there are plans for other spin-offs of JJK minus JJK3 Modelo. Specifically from the author Hirayama Yumaki. They haven't revealed too many details about this light novel spin-off, but he is a horror novel author, and in 2006 won the Mystery Writers of Japan Award.
That's cool.
2007, he also won Konomi's Rankings for Short Stories. 2009, Adventure Fiction. The Haruhiko Oyabu Award in 2011. His most famous work is Diner, telling the story of Kanaka Oba, a divorcee who becomes the driver of the getaway car in a cash heist. So Hirayama Yumaki will be the author of the light novel. They've done horror novels before. It would just make sense if it is a horror novel for JJK. But also, how sick would a JJK heist movie be? Or not movie, a book.
It would be fun, but I really feel like it'd be like Nobara and Yuji like stealing something stupid.
It'd be so random.
And then Megumi's just like dragged along.
Yeah. I honestly would not mind a book or a compilation of short stories of retrieving the different fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's kind of a moment where they're like, the fingers. We have to get all the fingers, and then we'll destroy Yuji. And, like, that was the huge focus of the show for the first, like, 20 episodes. And then, obviously, they get busy with Shibuya. And they're just like, yeah, we got a finger. Here's a finger. This dude's got 10 fingers. And you're just like, bro, like, it felt like the fingers were going to be like a treasure hunt. Because they're so hard to find. And then everyone's just like, no, what do you mean? I have 5 fingers. And it's like, where's everyone getting these fingers from?
I think I would also take a Yuta, like, training arc in between JJK 0 and
when
season 2.
He's in Africa or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. It could be like...
Ooh, like some African, like, spiritualism and stuff.
Well, it has, like, the guy with the rope and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be kind of cool to,
the
like...
The one that Gojo committed a hate crime on.
Stop!
No, it'd be sweet, though, because, I mean, he trained in Africa, which you then would assume that Africa has sorcerers and spirits.
Right.
Or and curses. And so, like, seeing a blend of, like, African spiritualism with the JJK universe would honestly be really creepy and cool.
I think the other thing, too, is, like, that is Yuta training... this might be a slight spoiler, I guess. But that would be Yuta training after, like, Rika, the girl, is gone. Because Rika separates from the spirit at the end of JJK 0, but the spirit, the curse remains. Okay. The curse remains.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I wonder, like, if how much of a relationship change with the curse it would be.
Yeah, like it could very much be like a Yuta in the desert wrestling with Rika to like get this curse under control. So that what we see come Culling games where he's got like a perfect like symbiotic relationship with the curse, like how we get to that point.
Yeah.
Because like you can imagine that once the girl is gone, that the curse is even more like unrestrained and stuff.
Yeah. Or to the opposite effect, because we know that, like, Rika sometimes worked against Yuta when it came to Maki. Like, with her, quote-unquote, gone, would that help the symbiotic relationship?
Yeah.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting. So, light novels is exciting. I mean, it's exciting that they're doing a lot of stuff for JJK, and then it's going to continue, because I know it's such a huge favorite.
I do wonder, like, how Gege feels about it. Like, do you think that he's reinvigorated and excited?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's continuing it with JJK 3, I mean, that kind of tells us, like, he likes it to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, maybe the story, like, maybe the original story just got out of, like, his control, and it was just kind of too all over the place, and this will be a good reset to better plan out.
Yeah. Because he's a good mangaka.
Oh, he's a great mangaka. His world building is
great.
Very creative. And so I'm excited. I'll be interested to see how he introduces the aliens.
Yeah.
Because I want to say like Naruto kind of fumbled that with how they did it, where they were just like, remember this big villain from Naruto? Well, she was an alien and her whole family's here now. And you're just like, oh.
It's kind of a cop-out.
Okay.
a little bit, right?
It undid, like, everything that all of Naruto had done. And that was kind of annoying. So, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
I'll let you take the next one, too. That's all you.
These are all my stuff.
What do you mean? I like JJK. Like, JJK's for the girls, too, clearly.
I mean, it is one of the only anime mangas I'd say that is a thirst trap for women more than it is for men.
I just want to clarify that I'm actually talking about Maki right now.
That's fair, but I'd even say like Maki isn't like sexualized.
No, she's not.
She's just like a dommy mommy where you're just like, I'm very turned on right now.
Okay, that's not how I think.
Am I wrong?
She could step on me and I would apologize to her.
Yeah, so the next one, One Piece is the only show in the world with over 200 episodes rated 9 or more.
That's crazy.
On IMDb. I'm trying to remember the wording of where I read this. I think it's like One Piece itself is over a 9. I guess this would mean that over 200 episodes have a 9.
Yeah.
Or higher. Yeah.
So how many episodes does Attack on Titan have?
That is a good question.
Because that one's rated very, very highly, much to my disagreement, but it's fine. I will stop hating on AOT. Sorry.
AOT is a 9.1 average.
I am kind of surprised
98 episodes
about
I
that.
think.
Kind of, I thought it'd be rated higher
94?
actually.
94 episodes. Higher than what? 9.1?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think, like, Breaking Bad is a 9.5 and held the, like, highest rated TV
That's
show
true.
for so long until, like, recently. I think Andor or something beat it recently.
Really?
Something recently beat it. I don't know what it is now. But yeah.
Are you pulling out your trivia knowledge? Your
yeah,
trivia
showing
night
it off.
knowledge?
Oh, it might still be Breaking Bad. They might still have it.
Oh.
I know Game of Thrones. Maybe it is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad always like were beefing over it.
And then Stranger Things too.
Yeah, Stranger Things isn't gonna hit that level.
Well, it was listed.
So I mean, yeah, like a 9.1 is not bad by any means.
No, it's not. I just know that like AOT is very well loved and has received very high ratings in the past. So I guess I just
Yeah,
I have
so
high standards.
it only has like 94 episodes, so it's not like it's gonna hit that 200 episode mark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One Piece is special in the sense that it's gone for. But I mean, you gotta look like Naruto. Naruto Shippuden was 500 exact, and it doesn't hit that. I mean, most that's filler. 250 that's filler. So then you're looking at you'd have to have almost a perfect canon episodes being 9 point.
Yeah.
And so Naruto might have been able to do it. Naruto was one of those ones where we really saw how popularity of an anime can almost ruin the anime because Naruto was so like watched that they were like, we got to put something out even though we're caught up on the manga, and so then they're just making filler after filler. So then people are like, oh, this doesn't matter, or like, oh, this takes away from the main story, and so
yeah, you kind of lose that
see,
momentum with like the previous episode if you're like talking about Itachi
and then 20 episodes of a random mission.
Yeah.
No, a lot of Naruto fans have kind of called for it to be reanimated. They've all said if it ever gets reanimated, we'd watch it, which I think 100% we would.
That'd be really great because the animation is old.
It's old. I think if Naruto and Naruto Shippuden got reanimated, cut all the filler out, just straight story, it would be one of the greatest anime.
It'd be so good.
Of all time.
Like imagine Itachi.
Yeah, like imagine, like it would be freaking gorgeous. So One Piece hits that mark though, 200 episodes, 9+. I mean, the last this Kuma backstory is like the highest rated backstory of all of anime. But like the last like 10 episodes have all been like 9.5 or higher.
Wow.
Like One Piece has just been going off. And it's crazy because the arc we're on is Egghead and next comes Elbaf. And Elbaf is going to be like 10s.
Really?
I guarantee we'll see at least 2 or 3 10.0 episodes.
Until people review bomb.
And that's the issue, is like you'll get review bombers. But it's like Elbaf is such a good arc so far that like it'll be impossible to mess it up. And so it's just going to keep getting better, which is absolutely insane.
Well, that's fun. Moving right along, One Punch Man, the season 3 trailer dropped.
And people hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was like a small like teaser trailer. And someone pointed out that like most of the shots in it were used in the teaser we got like a month or two ago. And then the other shots were like just still images of characters that just had like screen swipes basically.
Yeah.
So it was like no crazy animation. It was nothing to show like how good this season's going to be. Nothing crazy. I'm pretty sure I read that the director of this season also directs Japanese porn, hentai. Oh. And I also believe the director said that this will not be nearly as good as season 1. So there is no hope for One Punch Man season
3. Isn't it coming out after like years too?
Yeah, it's been like a long time.
Oof.
I was talking to my cousin Cullen the other day about this coming out, and he was like, he remembered how he got into One Punch right when season 2 dropped. Watched all of season 1, all of season 2, and then has been waiting since season 2 dropped to get season 3. So like he's been in the trenches waiting for it this long, and I had to let him know that it might not be peak. So we'll see how it turns out. But
If I may add to this news segment, with the U.S. is getting the Demon Slayer movie this week.
U.S. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Thursday.
That's where we'll be, and we are very excited.
Yes, we do plan to go watch that when it comes out. So we will have a YouTube video up for you guys next week. We won't do because we're doing bi-weekly on podcasting.
Yep.
We keep changing our mind.
I know. I think we probably bi-weekly.
For now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's pinky promise on it.
All right, bi-weekly for that. So what you will get next week, though, is a YouTube review of Infinity Castle. There'll be spoilers, so just keep an eye out. Be aware of that. But keep an eye out for that on our
Probably
YouTube.
Be tears too, honestly.
Probably lots of tears.
Probably.
So. With summer anime moving right along, it is time to start talking about winter anime. Mm-hmm. I'll handle January if you want February.
Yeah.
Since your birthday's in February.
So is yours.
January 2026 anime. If I remember correctly, these are all confirmed. JJK Season 3, like we said. Frieren Season 2.
Jeez.
Hell's Paradise Season 2. Fire Force Season 3 Part 2. Golden Kamui and Darwin Jihen, all coming in January.
Which ones are we watching?
Probably all of them.
Do our best. Well, you started Fire Force.
Fire Force has too much fan service. Like, Fire Force is, like, so bad at fan service.
Okay, so we might not be watching Fire Force.
The literal, intro for the first season, one of the scenes is a girl in a wet t-shirt that's white. One girl's power is literally just whipping her boobs out. It's Fire Force is a great story with with copious amounts of fan service.
Oh my gosh. It's like my beef with fantasy books nowadays.
Just too much fan service.
Yeah.
Too much fan service.
All right, well, in February 2026, we're getting That Time I Got Reincarnated into Slime, the movie. I hope I say this next one right. Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the movie.
Look at you.
Did I say it right?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay. And then the Dangers in My Heart movie. I'm intrigued on that one.
I know. I was writing this down and I was like, oh, Megan's going to 100% be obsessed with that.
It sounds good.
It does sound cute.
Also, speaking of things that come out for my manhwa fans, some of the good manhwas are back. I got really excited this past week because some of my favorites have returned. So download that webtoon app. Not sponsored.
All right, guys. That is our anime news of the week. Sit tight, and we'll be right back for some weekly anime. All right, guys. Welcome back to Anime Core. Anime Core, Anime Core.
Please cut that.
We need a soundboard or something. I don't know. Like trumpets, maybe? Would you guys like trumpets? Anyways, so...
Once again, asking you to cut that out.
Weekly anime. We got One Piece back on the TV. We had a break for some of Chopper's whatever. It was a
Glad
break
your
week.
anime was back.
But One Piece is back, and it's getting so good. If you guys are not into One Piece, I implore you to watch the 1,100 episodes and get into it. Catch up.
You can do it in a weekend for sure.
There was one guy, he did it in 24 hours.
Yeah, I saw all his screens
20
up. Yeah.
TVs, but he took a test showing he was retaining information.
Yeah, but had he watched it before? Because I think
That's what I was wondering. I was like, there's no way this guy's not a One Piece fan. But no, latest episode was great. Luffy realizes that Vegapunk has been injured and is suffering, and I want to point that out because a lot of people on social media were pointing out, they're like, Oda's botching Luffy's character because he doesn't care that Vegapunk is dying, he's just carefree and laughing. And they use this one frame from 2 weeks, I guess, episode where Luffy's laughing and in the background Vegapunk is bleeding to death. And the thing was, though, is that Luffy didn't know that Vegapunk was dying. What we saw in this episode was Luffy literally turning and being like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And so and then when he did that, we see that he gets angry and is like, I need to defend him. And so all these people who are like, oh, they're just ruining Luffy's character because he doesn't care about people close to him. It's like, no, you guys are clickbaiting and you're trying to make it so that One Piece is hated on for no reason
It's
at
frustrating.
all. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think One Piece deserves a lot of the hate it gets. One Piece fans, maybe. I mean, I think there are some fans that are toxic about it, but there's also more so fans that are toxic against One Piece. You see horrible review bombing for One Piece. Like episodes debuting at 100% and then getting bombed down to like 90, 80. You see people being misleading about what's happening in One Piece and like trying to like spread lies. A big thing is like all the Sanji stuff where they're like, Toei Studios hate Sanji because they took this scene out of the manga and didn't like put it in the anime. And like big thing was they were like, he never kicked light like he did in the manga. He literally just did it in this episode. People are just like, oh, he hasn't done it yet. And it's like, yeah, because we're not to that point in the manga.
That's frustrating.
When we see that. And so it's just really annoying because it's like One Piece I think is one of the greatest stories of all time, just in general. Like it's an epic. It's a great story that covers so many topics. I mean, it covers like genocide, slavery, like rape. Like it covers a lot of heavy stuff that you don't see mangas and anime touch, and you definitely don't see them touch all of these topics. And it doesn't in a way that like doesn't feel like it's like overwhelming or rushed in there.
Yeah.
Like when they were in like when they went to Fishman Island, it was dealing with like drug addiction and racism. When they went to Dressrosa, like there was rape and there was like slavery. Like there's like each island they go to, there's a different issue that Oda likes to hit on, and it's
That's
really
interesting.
good. And so
I'm just curious from your perspective because you mentioned epic. Do you think that One Piece is like kind of related to the Tale of Odysseus?
Yeah. Like, do I think it's inspired by like the Odyssey?
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily about that. I mean, it's hard because when you have an epic like the Odyssey about a seafaring journey of all these different trials to get home,
right?
Anything that's a seafaring journey
with different trials, is gonna be the same like because it's the gold standard. If
right,
you will.
It was the original. I wouldn't be surprised if Oda said somewhere that the Odyssey inspired a lot of One Piece. I mean, you know, I've got my One Piece map up here, and they get to the Grand Line, and it's island after island, each with a different trial or tribulation. And I mean,
it sounds like Luffy's a better person than Odysseus was.
Well, considering Luffy hasn't like slept around, and isn't a whore like Odysseus, I'd say yes. I'm ride or die for my girl Cersei. No, I would consider One Piece to be an epic, though.
Yeah.
Especially by the time it finishes, I 100% think it'll be an epic.
That's such an interesting statement because I feel like we don't have that nowadays. Of like, what do you predict are going to be classics?
Yeah, and I don't think like an epic has to be a novel. Like I think just because it's a different medium. Like you look at the Odyssey was originally an oral story. Like the way the Odyssey was created and told was through stories, right? And then it got written down. And so
that makes sense though for that time period.
Yeah, and I think that a manga being an epic like this makes sense for our time period.
Yeah.
It is the biggest mangas have ever been, and this is a story that has been going on since the 90s.
Yeah.
And continues to get bigger and bigger in scope. And so no, the One Piece hate gets annoying. Just it's like there's plenty to dislike about One Piece without having to like make up stuff about it. Like, if you've got beef with One Piece, say what your beef is. But, like, if you're like, I genuinely have to make up stuff just to, like, get people mad at it, then it's like, then it's a great manga. And you can't, you have to justify your hate by making up something, which is annoying. But no, yeah, the episode's great. The Giants are now on the island, which is exciting. If you guys remember, the Giants showed up. We got a sneak peek at them. But this is the Giant Pirates. We finally get to see them in action. We've seen pieces of them throughout the show so far with Dorian Broggie on Little Garden, and then the other two at during the Water 7 arc, and now we get to see the whole crew together showing up, which is exciting because that's setting up for Elbaf. We also get to see Caribou make contact with the Blackbeard Pirates. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I have no idea where Caribou came from. This man just shows up randomly. He was in Wano. I'm guessing he stowed aboard the Straw Hat Pirates ship again because He somehow always does that. But he makes contact with the Blackbeard pirates, telling them that he knows where 2 of the ancient weapons are, which is setting up for the final war, which is very exciting. And Vegapunk's video starts to air, which means Dr. Vegapunk is now dead.
Womp womp.
Very sad. If you guys have read the manga, you know how important this video is going to be. And if you have not read the manga, it's just going to be insane. A lot of mysteries from the Void Century are about to be told during this video. So be excited.
I'm excited. I've been watching Secrets of the Silent Witch, which I love. It's such a fun, like, Saturday anime. It's so fun and cute and lighthearted, and I love it. But this past week was a recap episode, which I did kind of appreciate.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I've definitely been keeping up on it, but I do have to say I think that Monica might be one of my favorite leads. She's so fun. Nice. I love her. She, if you don't know,
she's the one that likes math, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So if you don't know, she is the Silent Witch. And she is the Silent Witch because she's an extreme introvert.
I'm noticing this like theme of your favorite MCs basically being autistic women.
Here's the thing. If you read like fantasy books like I do, you get characters who are like, I'm not like other girls. And it's like, where are my pants?
Yeah.
I can't wear a dress. But when I say I like characters that are not like other girls, I mean like unique characters that like are, and it's funny because Mao Mao, like, I was going to say she's relatable. Is she?
Right.
My poison queen. I don't know about her.
But I think they're relatable in a sense of like they have a very niche favorite thing that they love, and like they're not here to please others. They're not here to like be known. They're just here to like enjoy what they enjoy.
I think I like Monica because I do find her relatable, where she's just like, listen, I get nervous saying spells, so I'm just gonna learn how to like not say them.
Yeah, she mastered.
And she mastered wordless magic and became one of the 7 sages, and she is OP, like truly OP.
Okay, so I have to ask then, Mao Mao, Monica, or Freyrin?
Mao Mao.
Mao Mao,
hands down.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mao
Mao is just so funny. She's so funny. Yeah. Jinchi's like, why you got scars on your arm? And she's like, I was experimenting on myself. She's just so nonchalant and hilarious. And like, she's like, something comes up in the inner palace and she's like, I wasn't supposed to hear that. It's none of my business. And I love her for it.
Nice.
But I'm really enjoying Monica. She also loves math. She was dancing with the crown prince, and she was like, oh, because the moves are, like, reflected off his badge, I can figure this out. And she just gets so caught up in, like, her thing and everything. And I think, like, high school Megan would have really found her relatable. Very much an introvert. Yeah. Didn't really like math as much as she did, but...
Your books that you like, that would have been your math. Yeah. That would have been your poisons.
The story's fun. If you like a good academy story.
Are people talking about it?
That's a good question. My current Instagram algorithm has been...
It's just K-pop Demon Hunters?
Oh, that does still come up. Yes, you are correct. Right now, it's a lot of book talk, and I'm trying to like engineer it so I'm getting like the right book talk to come across, you know? So that's a work in progress. And then my For You page is all manhwa recommendations, like literally all manhwa recommendations, nice. Which I'm a little bit proud of, actually.
Is it kind of like TV shows where like in the fall you get like a huge new batch of manhwa?
I don't really know.
Because the fall for TV is known as pilot season,
right?
That's why you get all the new TV shows that show up because all the pilots come out.
I have so many manhwas that I'm like subscribed to. So I have them like consistently coming out, but some of my favorites did recently come back this past weekend, and I did get very excited. Nice. So
sweet. So you should have a new episode this next Sunday. Saturday. To continue the story.
I hope so. I did also find the light novel. I thought about reading it. So we'll see.
All right. We need to talk to you guys about To Be Hero X, because it is getting absolutely insane.
This is a serious conversation.
Yeah, let's get serious for a minute, guys.
Watch it.
So newest episode of To Be Hero X, we got Ahu's backstory, which is funny because I've like the whole show I've been like, dude, when are we gonna find out about this dog?
Yeah. And I wasn't excited.
One of the last 6 episodes. Within the last 6 episodes, I was kind of just like, I don't care. I'm focused on all the crazy stuff.
And you're getting X's out, and you're kind of getting glimpses of him, and I'm like, continue this. I need to know more.
About Ahu, about a talking dog ranked top 10, and then he just showed up, and it was, I want to say, one of the top backstories we've gotten this season. It was really good.
It's interesting. I really think that his story might be the saddest.
Really?
It drew on my heartstrings for some
twin brother dying, but my mind is too far on Demon Slayer right now. I was like, what backstories have we seen? And I instantly went to Demon Slayer.
So you went to the Mist Hashira?
Yeah. Isol's wasn't sad. His friend dying was sad, but that wasn't sad.
That's kind of on him, though.
Lin Ling's wasn't sad.
Well.
Lin Ling's backstory was
his backstory, yeah.
Lucky Cyan, I'd say, is up there.
That's true. I do forget about her backstory.
Queens wasn't sad. Oh, but you forgot about the Johnnies.
Listen, I don't care about the Johnnies.
No, that's a really good point. I'd say Lucky Cyan and Ahu are the only ones with sad backstory.
I mean, I think
Dragon
you
Boys
could.
Suck.
I was gonna say, I think you could argue for Dragon Boys. We just didn't see enough of it. I would say, to really kind of get to know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we did see him trapped under the ice. Yeah.
But that's the extent. No, that's a really good point. We haven't had crazy depressing backstories.
I mean, I think anything with
this an anime if there's not at least 10 depressing backstories.
That's true. But I think too, anything with a pet and a child is automatically sadder.
I think this is one of the best backstories we've gotten. Mm-hmm. One, because of the emotion, was really good. The little girl wasn't annoying like little Johnny. And we were watching it, and I was like, why is this little girl not annoying me like little Johnny does? And I think what it was, yes, she's very fantastical and imaginative and acts similar to little Johnny, but there's not a single moment where she calls this dog her son. And I realize that is what pisses me off about the Johnnies to no end.
Well, here's the other thing. Naruto never calls Kurama his son either.
This man literally went, Dad said that babies show up when you need them, which means this alien's my son.
She's also maybe 12, and he's 20, and he's still doing this. Yeah, it's a problem.
So that's where I draw the line between Ahu's owner and little Johnny. I think the backstory is good, but also I think there's a lot of implications we're not really seeing here.
Yeah.
Of an animal gaining trust.
Yes.
Because where does trust end?
Right. Could an object become sentient?
Exactly. And I think that's why they saved Ahu's for so long, because if Ahu's came out, second or third for backstories,
it would feel like a plot hole.
It would just be a dog has trust, whatever. But now we're in the middle of trust needs to be controlled, fear is getting out, all this stuff of trust, and then out of nowhere here's a character where it's hey, by the way, this dog is sentient and can talk now because of trust. So now, because of all the stuff we've seen these past few episodes, we're now thinking, oh my gosh, what does this mean that we can give trust to animals, right?
Yeah.
And where does that end? And so I think the way they placed it,
although I guess we kind of saw with the Johnnies though, right? A little bit.
But the thing is, the alien didn't get the trust. It was Johnny's control.
Because he can... Yep, you're right.
Johnny has the trust, not the alien.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And if the alien's ship is immune to trust and fear, is the alien immune to trust and fear?
So many questions. Can I also bring up that I am both heartbroken and also loving Nice's development as a villain.
What a freaking character, dude. Holy cow.
I just...
For someone that died in the first episode and hasn't come back until probably 18, maybe even late, maybe 19, Nice is a character that I would say is the backbone of the show.
Yeah. Well, which makes sense though, because
when it started, it felt like that.
But when you look at Nice and, like, you think about, like, how he's grown as a hero of, like, the advertisements that they're putting out, the promotions for him. Like, I think he perfectly encapsulates what the trust system is and how you can manipulate it. And I think that's also interesting.
Do we think that Nice would not have ended his life if his power wasn't perfectionism?
That's a good question,
because
too.
We've seen, like, the fear gets on him, and he freaks out. Like, small things happen, and we see, like, him cracking. Like, we see that crack in the facade.
Yeah.
And there's always a talk of Nice is perfect, nothing can harm, like, all this stuff. And so I wonder how much of Nice's, like, downfall can be accredited to the fact that he's a perfectionist.
Right.
And to a fault. Like, you think, like, okay, what does us as humans look like as perfectionism? Well, yeah, it gets bad, right? Like, it can drive us crazy. Now, imagine if that was your power,
right? And
like, everything was had to be perfect for you.
Well, I think the other interesting thing too is, like, we saw him get infected with fear, but in all of his other fights, like, he literally cannot get hit, and so, like.
But fear is the opposite of trust. So maybe fear overrides powers given by trust.
Yeah.
So fear overrides a can't hit ability.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, like, say, remember what's his face, the dude that couldn't bend his knees, right? Say something covered in fear fell on top of him. Would that force him to bend his knees because it overrides his power?
That's a good question.
No, I think Ahu's story was great because it answered no questions and just gave us more. In not a bad way.
I mean, can we also, like, talk about how great of a commentary 2B Hero X has been?
Can we talk about how evil Shang is buying all those, all those houses?
I mean, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like, it's all bundled up into one. Like, there's so many different facets of this commentary.
This dude's literally
you have that. You have, like, I mean, the social media influence aspect, FOMO, literally FOMO. You have someone that, like, is always smiling.
A social media site called FOMO is too on the nose, but it works somehow.
Yeah. I mean, like, but, like, even the powers, though, because you have Smile, and he just can't not smile. But, like, what does that do to you?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like, if you think about, like, people pleasers.
I hate it. I hate it because it makes you feel bad for influencers. I hate it because you're just like, oh man, this poor person has to, like, always smile or can't bend their knees or all this stuff because of public perception of them. And then you're like, okay, well, how many influencers feel that stress of, like, you know, I can't let it crack? And I mean, this is a Chinese studio that's doing this, and so I wonder how much. We've talked about, like, K-pop with Korean pop stars experiencing that a lot, where you have to be perfect, you can't, how the media sees you is how you have to be. And so I wonder if there is something in China with, like, celebrities or something where you see that as well, of you first are owned by the public and then you're yourself, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
I can't comment on that,
I don't know too much about, like, Chinese, like, celebrity dumb and stuff, but
I do, like, I think all of this conversation, though, makes X a much more interesting character.
Yes.
Because of his dual personalities. He's, And you could argue, like, that, I think I lost my train of thought. I was going to say, who else would be outside of the system? I kind of feel like... But nobody.
Lin Ling is the closest we've got to that.
Yeah.
But that's not even, like, by his control.
Right.
He's seen as normal man because the public sees him as that. And so what we see at the end of Lin Ling's story of him owning his own identity was not anything he controls. Like, X is literally the only hero that can exist outside of this broken system.
And is that why he's so strong?
And I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, we've seen him fight in past few episodes, and
it's insane.
So
who do we think?
Guys, men, don't let your girls watch 2B Hero X. Let me actually adjust this. Guys, if you have a girlfriend, do not let them watch 2B Hero X. Or if they do watch it, cut it off, like, before X gets on the screen.
Or Queen, honestly. Listen.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
Yeah.
There's too much aura farming.
Too much, and it's so good. Okay, so would you vote this anime of the year?
Oh, I hate that question. Mainly because I don't really know what the criteria. Like, where's the deadline start? You know, I have to have a list. I mean, we're putting it up against like Takopi's. Takopi's was phenomenal. Putting it up against Lazarus, maybe. When did Lazarus come out?
Great question.
Maybe Lazarus.
No, I don't think it would have been in this past round.
I don't think it would have been. Our media guy's looking into it.
Please pause.
I'm the media guy. All right, Lazarus came out of his tomb at Jesus' command.
You should have expected that one.
I forgot that the Bible is more popular than anime. Okay, so it was
6th,
April.
yeah.
So Lazarus will be up for anime of the year. Ooh.
Well, I guess we don't know if it will be.
They should put it up there. Oh, goodness gracious, yeah. Lazarus got a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. Good for them. To Be Hero X, I don't think it's anime of the year, but I think it needs to be appreciated more for what it is.
I think it does.
It is. I mean, we didn't even talk about this recent episode. The animation style changed again, and it was more like Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And so it's balancing like 3 or maybe 4 different animation styles throughout the show, and it does it in a way that is just so fluid.
It's such a good show, and I think
the story's great. Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I think To Be Hero X is an anime where, what you put into it, you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
As far as like storyline wise, if you just watch it for like a fight anime, you'll enjoy it.
And I'll say, if we're looking at this Lazarus Takopi's, To Be Hero X has the best rewatch value as well.
Yes, To Be Hero X has phenomenal rewatch value.
And you typically get that with like time jump stuff where it bounces around different timelines and all that stuff. But this one was not that hard to follow. Like you look at, I remember The Witcher was brutal to watch until like the final episode, and it all clicked, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not stupid. This was just terrible to watch."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Witcher fans. The games are good. But this one, I think, because the second story is going back in time, and if you don't pay attention to the dates on it, it's going to be tough. But,
luckily I had you to explain it for me.
But you figure it out very quickly, these are, and then once you realize it's a time skip anime, it's the rest of it's
you can kind of reset a little bit better.
We are all caught up now, though.
We are back to the original time.
Ended with the beginning of episode 1,
which was insane. I lost my mind.
When the animation changed,
I lost my mind. And Lin Ling standing on the building,
it zoomed out.
Oh my gosh!
Such a good shot.
Every time Lin Ling comes on screen, I'm like, I missed you.
When he stepped on that ledge and the whole animation changed, I legit got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so who are your favorite heroes right now?
Ooh, don't ask me that. Isol. I can't.
That didn't age well, Jeremiah.
I can't defend Isol anymore.
That did not age well. He was like,
anymore.
Isol's the freaking best. And I'm like, listen, I like the Conqueror.
You have to admit, though,
I like Lin Ling.
You have to admit, we are so far into this show. 1 episode left. We have 1 episode to go. And I still stand that the Isol versus Isol fight is one of the top 2, maybe 3 fights in the entire show.
Okay, but listen.
Tell me I'm wrong.
When Queen shows up and casts her domain.
That was good, but it wasn't a fight. It was just her aura farming.
Okay, and?
No, Isol v Isol was one of the best fights.
No, that was a good fight.
Entire show. Nothing
that
was
a
topped
good fight.
That except something, maybe an X fight.
Which I feel like we really haven't had super heavy fighting. Mm-hmm. We've had phenomenal
5-minute thing. But
we've had phenomenal entrances.
Yeah.
Like the Queen one when X shows up and tears the screen.
Like I said, it's all about aura farming.
So good.
I like Dragon Boy a lot. Not because I like him as a person. I just Did
you like when he turned into a little gremlin?
Yeah, when he hit his power max, I was like, oh, this is crazy. X, I think, is off the board because X is an automatic favorite.
Yeah.
That's easy. Queen is very fun to watch. Lucky Cyan is kind of the opposite of Dragon Boy, where I like her as a person, but I don't really care for her as a hero.
I do like what they've done with her luck.
Yeah.
I think that's been really fun and creative to watch.
Yeah.
But I agree. She's not my favorite hero.
I like her as a person.
Her backstory was great.
Her story was one of the best in the show for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who we've seen. Nice, I think, is like Lucky Cyan, where I like his story, but I don't really care for him as a hero as much.
Nice or Lin Ling / the Commoner?
Nice.
Okay.
A hot take, I don't like Lin Ling. I don't care for Lin Ling. Like, Lin Ling, I'm like, okay, whatever. Kind of sucks. Whatever. No, I don't, like, Lin Ling's fine, but, like, his whole story was literally, like, someone else's. Like, there was nothing about, like, Lin Ling's, like, episodes that was about Lin Ling.
But I think, arguably, if I may, I think...
You can't.
What? No, I think that might make his character, like, and the character's growth / story more interesting, because, as you said, if his whole story is about someone else, but then the finale 100%. Of his story is becoming his own person and his own hero. And I think I like it, like, personally, because I resonated with that story a lot.
That's totally fair.
So I, like, have my personal bias toward it. But
no, I mean, like, all we've gotten of Lin Ling as Lin Ling is the start where, like, he's getting fired from his job and wants to end his life, and then the end of his story where he, like, steps into the role of the Commoner and finally gets recognized for who he is. But, like, there was nothing after that where it was, like, him having a moment or a soliloquy or anything where you're just like, oh, this is who Lin Ling is. It was just like he had that fight with God's Eye. Everyone's like, who's this? This is the Commoner. And then he goes to get Moon.
Yeah.
And, like, that was kind of it. And so it would just depend on how they handle his character in season 2. I mean, I guess what happens in the finale.
Right. It'll be interesting to see if / how he comes back in the finale.
Right, because the finale, I'm guessing, will see the fallout of Moon's death and the start of the tournament. Like, right before the tournament kicks off. So I'd have to see what he looks like in season 2 before I, like, make it definitive. Like I said, he's a mid 5 out of 10 for me, where I'm like, I don't feel anything either way.
No, that's fair.
He's just there. But I don't think he's bad. Ahu I like. Again, his story, not his hero, like him as a hero.
Yeah. I mean, we only saw one fight from him, which is totally fine.
Caught the axe and threw it?
Yeah, that was sick, though. Yes. I about fell off the couch. That was insane.
So you've obviously got X, you've got Queen, the Johnnies probably.
Awkward silence.
We're going to have to end the episode, guys. So I guess you got those two. Do you have a third? Lin Ling.
Are you being facetious?
Nice.
Are you being a rat?
Ghostblade.
Are you okay?
Oh my god!
I was like, are you legitimately forgetting, or are you just like
forgetting a hero? Okay,
like Ghostblade hating on me?
Ghostblade is one of the few where I'm like, yes, hero, yes, story. I will leave my wife for you. Like,
the feeling's mutual.
No, I 100% forgot about Ghostblade. Yeah, Ghostblade is a fantastic character. I would give him, on the, like, how much I like him, I'd say like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because his story was ruined by everyone around him.
That's so valid. That's so valid. I will say, I think the interesting thing, too, what we saw with Ghostblade's story is how much the trust system can affect your livelihood.
Yes.
And
I think
also the Watcher's livelihood, because, listen.
I think part of it, too, is like when you have a character like Ghostblade who can't speak, like you said, his whole story becomes very passive, where it's more so dictated by those around him than him himself. Because he can't talk. Yeah. He can't give big speeches.
Sorry. Lolly. She's also in the mix.
Get her off my screen. What do you mean?
She's not on the screen.
Mix, bro. Forget about her. Yeah, I don't... What? Why would you even waste my time bringing that up?
You forgot about Ghostblade. You deserve that, actually.
No, yeah. Ghostblade's one where, like, it really shows you how a character that can't speak is very defined by the people around him speaking.
That's so true. And that's why, like, we kind of fell off those episodes for a little bit.
We just
not fell off, but it was not enjoyable to watch, in all honesty. I think Ghostblade's still my favorite, but I am very excited about X because
I mean, who has the audacity to throw Lally, Johnny's, and then bad Ghostblade parts like back to back in episodes? Like, come on, brother. Like, the audacity to give us that in a row.
Literally.
We were feasting on Lucky Cyan and Queen back to back.
Yeah. Yes, we were. I really didn't find Queen's story that interesting. Do I love her as a hero?
Queen's story, and you can slap me if you need to. Queen's story just really gave me, like, heavy privilege vibes. Where she was like...
I think that's valid.
She was like, my greatest struggle is, like... I don't want to say, like, her greatest struggle is being a woman, but it was, like, she was, like, top of her class at, like, 14. She was, like, in college. Like, she was, like... famous, like all this stuff, and like it just really felt like she was like, but because I can't be a hero, like none of that matters. I guess
she kind of lost the plot.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, when one thing in the world matters the most to you, and you have everything else but that one thing, yeah, I can see how that's fair to like be upset about. But it definitely was just like, girl, like. No one cares that you're a girl. Like, you literally are, like, valedictorian of a college at 7 years old. Like, I don't know.
Which is great for you to say, but, I mean, there are people that
No, I know.
care.
I know.
You
there
know?
was just something about Queen's backstory where I was like, this feels
that's
privileged.
fair. I mean, I think...
I just can't put my nose on it. I still love her. I
still love her. Yeah, no, she's a phenomenal character.
I guess when you line her up with the struggles that other heroes have
I think
faced
that's what it is. And, like, I mean, I think it's, like, you can still say, like, all your feelings are valid. All your emotions are valid.
No,
like, I get
valid.
that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did resonate with her struggles, actually.
Alone, like...
Yeah.
I hate them, but they had a sad story.
They had a sad story.
She reminds me of Lally.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
No. Shoot. I mean, but at least she's a good decision maker, and her fight was amazing.
And you can say too that Queen was more so focused on the good of others as well as herself. Lally was just focused on like her selfish desire to be a hero.
Yeah.
Queen wanted all women to be heroes,
right,
and push the trust system and get rid of the trust system. Which we almost got divorced arguing over.
That was a rough one.
I'll say it on camera. Megan was right.
Oh my gosh.
Recorded evidence.
I've been waiting for that for like 3 weeks.
But yeah, so I mean, like, that is a huge difference between like Lally and Queen is, I keep want to call her Queenie because she's my love from Fantastic Beasts.
Wait, did you ever watch the third Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, that was the one that we saw in theaters and hated it and rewrote the whole movie on the way.
That's right. It was a good
we
movie
don't support
that we
J.K.
rewrote.
Rowling, I just want to point that out real
yes,
quick.
but side note, if you watch Fantastic Beasts 3, just know that we rewrote it.
Hit us up, we'll give you the
and
pitch.
It was better.
But yeah, so Queen does like... She did come across less selfish than Lally, but in the end of the day, like, her and Lally, their motivation was the same.
I think that's fair.
Where they're like...
Yeah.
And yeah, when you stack it up against, like, Lin Ling wanted to end his life. Esol was nothing and had to watch his friend die because he was selfish. Lucky Cyan. Don't have to explain that one. Mm-mm. Even, like, Ahu's backstory. Like, like I said, we said that there weren't, like, a lot of sad backstories, but, like, there were sad backstories, and, like, people struggled. And then you get to Queen and Lally.
No, they were like, sad backstories, but they weren't sad compared to, like, literally, like... Naruto or Sasuke.
It's probably our fault watching Takopi's original sin.
Listen, the backstory scaling, that's an unfair.
Yeah, don't watch Takopi's while you watch this, because then you'll compare it to some of the saddest scenes you'll ever see in anime.
We have one more episode though.
One episode left.
There's gonna be like a hole in my heart after it finishes. Like I feel like I'm just gonna like sit there after it's done, and I'm like, what do I do with myself? What do I watch?
Imagine when they announce season 2, and imagine when they announce the top 10 ranking going into season 2.
Because fans can vote.
Because if you guys remember from when we started the podcast, fans can vote on the rankings, and how heroes line up in the top 10 going into season 2 will determine how strong they are, and maybe if they even die in season 2. So if you guys are
please, I'm begging you.
If you guys are like, I will end everything if
vote for Ghostblade
loses, that's your fault, man.
Ghostblade 2026 or 7 or 28, whenever the next season comes out.
Yeah, it's when they drop that official ranking list, it's honestly going to be very like it's going to be
actually
haunting.
If Ghostblade survives this season, we don't know. That man went down in that fight.
Oh, true. We don't even know how he's recovering.
Okay, here's my thing. I don't think I'd actually hate a ghost. Like, I'd hate a Ghostblade death, but, like, I think it would make sense for his character.
There's some characters where he can die. He'll be fine.
But I love him.
But
so
when they drop that
him.
ranking, it's going to be, like, it's going to hit hard.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see someone that you really like not be a top 5 character, and you're going to fear for them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, it'll be interesting, too, because, like, you have Dragon Boy, who's in the top 10.
But is he going to drop?
But he's a villain.
Yeah,
so, like, how do you rate that?
That's a good point. They had to really, like, build his story and animate him in a way that people would still want to vote and root for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is all
impressive
part of the trust system, once again.
Yeah, marketing, how you market your heroes.
So...
Should have done a To Be Hero X video.
I think this is one, actually. I think this turned into one.
Yeah, we'll have to do a review of the final and just kind of an overview of it.
Should we do, like, a live reaction?
That'd be fun.
Except we watch it on Sundays Sundays and...
We'll figure it out. No. Sakamoto Days. We watched the latest episode.
Yeah. The other anime
we can
that
brush
we
over
watched.
this real quick because nothing's happening in the show.
Just think Hunter x Hunter.
It's literally Hunter x Hunter.
Yep.
The best ways.
Are in fact on an
love
island.
it, honestly.
I do too. I love Hunter x Hunter.
At all.
I'm wearing my Killua shirt right now.
It is funny because we're like thriving on all the like slur episodes and like.
That's the villain, by the way. I just want to note that.
The episodes where, like, Slur and Sakamoto faced off, and, like, the huge fights happening at, like, the JJA and all that stuff.
And Slur's a hottie.
And then they were like, all right, guys.
Unfortunately.
Now we're going to go to school. And then you're like, oh, I totally forgot this show was about, like, the hijinks of this family. So it makes sense for, like, the story and the vibes and stuff. I don't hate it. It's just, like...
It's fun.
To go from what we had to this, you're just like, oh, I want to see them fight again. But it's not bad.
I mean, you kind of are.
We're getting a ton of cool characters.
We really are. And that is one thing I think I mentioned to you when we were watching this is like something about Sakamoto Days is each character, no matter if they're a side character or not, has their own unique personality and you can distinguish them.
Yeah, I'd say like hate Sakamoto as much as you want. Don't like, whatever. But
or don't,
you have
actually.
to admit, like, the characters in the show are very well done.
They're great.
He's very creative and like I'd say maybe like Naruto was One Piece is really good at doing diverse characters, so it's kind of like there's that. But like Naruto's one of the last times I've like seen an anime where I'm like each character feels uniquely their own with their own like style. He's like Naruto, like they have their own like jutsus, their own like clothing, stuff like that. You look at this where they have their own fighting techniques, their own designs.
Yeah,
like,
which I think is more difficult because they are assassins, right? Like they don't have magical powers. Yeah. They are like they have creative weapons. So
yeah, I mean, one dude literally, his whole thing was he's basically like a cinematographer / movie director.
Oh yeah.
But it worked. Like, it didn't feel like it was, like, a
that
campy,
was the Hisoka vibe character.
Maybe less pedophilia. Maybe, like, did you feel like he was, like, creepy?
He kind of gave off, like, it's like the obsessive kind of vibe.
Oh, obsessive. 100%. I can name 30 obsessive anime characters. Not one of them am I comparing to Hisoka. I feel like Hisoka and Orochimaru were like alone in a room and no kids are allowed in there. Like Hisoka's
valid.
Hisoka's an extreme comparison.
I know. I got a weird vibe from this guy.
That's fair, I guess. I think he was just obsessed about movies.
Oh
like
yeah,
the
for
shot
sure.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Can we just talk about how disappointing Hisoka was in the sense of he showed up in Hunter x Hunter. It was super like, oh, this guy is kind of crazy and cool, like Joker vibes. And then like licked his lips when he saw a little boy and you're like, oh, I'm not allowed to like you now. Like Hisoka could have been such a sweet character.
Yeah.
No, Sakamoto Days was cool. I liked seeing, you can tell me if you didn't, I liked seeing Shin and Sakamoto separated.
I think it's good for Shin in his growth. I think he needs to.
You forget like this family's individual characters.
Yeah.
So seeing them split up kind of reinforces that.
Which was, like, cute because Sakamoto got very sad to be separated from Shin. It was adorable.
Were you let down by the reveal of who the young girl's sister was?
No, because I was proud of myself that I pieced it together.
Were you let down, though, that it wasn't slur like you thought it was?
No, I think
when it
this
happened,
is...
were you just like, this is cool?
I don't think so, because I think they've alluded to the sister's, like, backstory a little bit. Like, they've alluded to her. We haven't seen her show up, and I think this girl mentioned that she died.
I did like the flashback to the hospital where the one order member mentioned her. Because I was like, oh, okay, this is someone that is important. We've heard a little bit. Like, that was nice, like, as a refresher, and I think that was very well done. Yeah.
And I liked her enough that I wanted her on the team, so I think I would have been sad if she was with Slur.
Were you more sad when we found out who Masuya's brother is?
Yes, I wanted it to be Nagamo.
Ugh, so sad.
Mafuyu.
Yeah.
Yes. I love him, though.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Sakamoto Days. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's a fun one if you're just...
It is such a cute anime.
Looking for just, like, good vibes.
If you listen to us and watch Takopi's Original Sin, first, thank you. That's cool that you guys listen to us. Go watch Sakamoto
Secondly,
Days.
are you doing okay?
Do yourself a favor and watch something lighthearted. Or make it worse and watch Freyrin.
Yeah.
That'll break your heart in 10 different ways.
Yeah, we haven't even finished it, and I know there's more sad scenes coming up.
I'm scared, honestly.
No, because there's like this one scene that I keep seeing where it's like, and do they get married? And it's her and Himmel, like, literally, like, at the altar. And guess what, Jeremiah? Guess what? It was a freaking dream. Mm-hmm. It was a freaking dream. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on.
Yeah. Cool.
Why not even do another segment? Nah, sit tight. We will be right back for our Lazarus review. What? That's right.
Yeah.
We're actually doing
Great Bible story.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Core. This week, we told you we were going to do it, and guess what? We did maybe like months after we said. It's the Lazarus review, baby!
Can't say we don't keep our promises.
Yeah, we do it later than we said to.
That's right.
Now, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Lazarus review. Finally watched it.
We did.
I definitely thought Lazarus... I thought we did worse than we did. Because I thought Lazarus was like last year for some reason.
Oh.
And so I was like, man, we really did not watch Lazarus. But it was April, we looked up. So it could be worse.
Your cat is misbehaving over there.
Yeah,
sorry, it's a little bit distracting, actually.
She wants attention, so just ignore her.
Okay.
See?
Did you hear that, everyone? It was so cute.
She wants attention, ignore her. So we watched Lazarus.
We did.
All 13 episodes.
You know, I actually did not think that I would like it as much as I did. If you heard that, that was our cat knocking things over. Hi, kitty.
Do you think, I mean, like, Lazarus has, like, a lot of, like, biblical, like, elements, obviously. It's called Lazarus. We learned why it's called Lazarus. Do you think the number 13 for episodes was intentional? 13 is seen as an unlucky number.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's seen as, like, there's some views that it's evil. If you've ever known, like, there's an old superstition that buildings would leave out. The 13th floor would just be, like, an empty floor. Yeah, like there's a lot of superstition. Where
did that, like, superstition originally come from?
I don't know. Christianity and Norse mythology. So Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper.
Okay.
Jesus was crucified on a Friday, an unlucky day in some cultures. Norse mythology, the trickster Loki was the uninvited 13th guest at a dinner party. So.
Okay. Because I was thinking, I was in the line of like, well, if it was like a 7 or like 40 days.
Right. But Judas is seen as unlucky because...
But that is interesting.
Because, he got Jesus killed.
But... I don't know. I don't think I'd say so because there's really no... Please pause for the cat.
Sorry, guys. Had to deal with the cat, but...
We're back.
You know what that means.
It's water.
Yeah, so... Judas was... Yeah, so 13 is kind of an unlucky number. Might stem from Christianity. So do you think 13 episodes was intentional then?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think maybe if it was like a thematic element throughout, and maybe I just missed it, of like... 13 showing up prominently, then I'd have a different answer. Or if there was like unlucky 13 again, like.
But counter argument, the number 13 didn't, but biblical themes and metaphors did.
I think that's fair.
And if 13 is based in biblical themes, then I mean it would fit your patterns of stuff showing throughout.
I don't think
it would
so.
add anything to it.
I don't
think
think
it would just
so.
be like a fun, like, oh yeah, we had 13 episodes because it was unlucky, and
We can make it headcanon.
it's headcanon. Look at you.
I know.
But no, I mean, like, you think like the ending of the show, it, fast forwarding to the end of the show, it ended with 0 days left for us.
Yeah.
A very, very haunting message. And you mentioned the number 7. 7 is seen as like a number of completion. The world was created in 7 days. There's like, anytime the Bible uses the number 7, it's in terms of completion or perfect. And so if we're looking at the meaning of numbers, 13 being unlucky signifies not necessarily completion like 7 would, but maybe something bad is coming.
Yeah.
And if the show ends with a warning of like, no, there is no hope, there's still, like, we're doomed still, then I feel like 13 would make sense, because it's like, it's this foreboding feeling that like things are just going to get worse, and 13 signifies that.
I think that's fair. I still think it's a reach, but
I think it could be a reach for sure. I think it's one of those things where it's like, there's no firm evidence either way.
But speaking of the ending, I think it is one of the most haunting endings in an anime I've watched.
Yes.
Because premise of the anime is that there's this pill called Hapna that a scientist develops, and people love it. And it takes away pain. And so everyone's taking this pill. They want to get rid of their pain. That makes sense. But then the scientist, Dr. Skinner, comes out and says, hey, you all who have taken Hapna are going to die.
And it's very much like this idea that humanity has lost its humanity, where if you become unfeeling and you can't feel pain, there's one point where like they're talking about how all the teens were taking it because they were told like you won't feel sadness anymore. So it's like, no, you're no longer feeling emotions. Like, are you human? Anymore? And I think that's kind of like part of why Skinner felt the way he did. Right.
And it opens up that discussion of like, do you need to make yourself the monster?
Yeah, it Lazarus definitely reminded me a lot of the Dune books. If you ever read anything Heretics of Dune, I want to say.
Big fan. Here somewhere. They're on the bottom. If you notice, our One Piece stat keeps growing.
Yeah. My bad. But no, so Lazarus reminds me a lot of the Dune books, where in book 4 or 5, we see Emperor Leto take on this role of the villain, where he's very oppressive. He's forcing people to no longer travel through space. He's an evil dictator throughout the galaxy, kind of thing. And he explains that he has to do that because humanity is doomed to die out if they're left complacent and basically losing their like sense of adventure, sense of travel, wanting to see the galaxy, all this stuff. And so by him forcing them into place, and then when he dies releasing that, there's this huge migration of humanity spreads and all this stuff. And I think Lazarus is very similar, where Skinner wasn't a bad guy. We finished the show and Skinner was not bad at all. But Skinner made himself the villain because for humanity to learn what it means to be human and to want to survive, they have to be faced with this threat of, you're going to die if you don't find me.
It's an interesting debate, for sure.
Yeah. And it's very much like he gave them a choice. They could have died in 30 days and it had been over, right? And a lot of the world was ready for that, we saw. Or the ones that wanted to survive, the ones that loved life and loved being human, had a chance to find their zealousness for life again, kind of thing.
Like in the search to find him?
Yeah, like he gave them like their challenge. Right.
That is interesting because we only see the Lazarus team looking for him. And arguably they...
Like maybe the FBI, I think, too.
Maybe the FBI, but again, that's a governmental organization.
And the military, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting because we see this group, this ragtag group that... full of lovable characters.
Very lovable characters.
But really, like, at the end of the day, did some of them want to be there? Because, like, I think Axel could have been so indifferent about it. Like, I think Axel is a character that just loves adventure no matter what it is.
The thing, too, I mean, they picked, like, this group, and they were all pretty, like, loners. Mm-hmm. And they found their love of life and being human and stuff through each other. At the end of the show, they were given this. They said, "Do you guys want to continue being Lazarus?" They could have walked away. It could have been over, and they said, "No, I want this community." I mean, even we saw Leland was like, "Do you guys think like when we find Skinner, it's over?" And like we kind of see like, oh shoot, there's this second wind that they're all receiving through each other.
Well, I think that each of them found a purpose. To strive for. I mean,
you're just looking at the barbecue on the roof. Or like, like none of them would have had that. All of them were alone.
Yeah.
With nothing to care for before this team was put together.
Yeah.
So, I do think like they were forced into this. I mean, I don't think they were obviously forced into this. But I think the way that they found life and wanting to push forward was through each other, rather than like this threat of survival versus. Because I mean, they wouldn't have died. They didn't know that, but they wouldn't have died because they were immune.
Were they?
Yeah, remember?
I thought Axel was immune.
That they all were. If Axel was immune, they all were.
Oh, because of the airport?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
They had the mutation. So,
yes.
So the whole Skinner stuff wasn't a threat to them. They weren't getting anything out of that.
But they didn't know that.
Again, they didn't know that. But that's why it's important that they found their love of life and, like, pushing forward in each other.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to find it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about those characters, though?
Yeah, they were so great. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we have, 5?
Yes.
So
Leland, the black guy. What is his name? I don't remember. Let me just pull up a character list because I'm bad at character names.
Elena, the hacker.
Sam?
I think so.
Is in there somewhere? I think that's the Russian chick.
No, that's Chris.
Chris, yes.
Chris is the former Russian spy, and then you have Axel.
Dr. Skinner, Christine.
Our ragtag.
Christine? Oh, is Doug? No, Abel.
Sorry, we're really bad at this, eh?
I'm so bad at names, guys. Cancel me now.
I will.
What? I'll probably just go on Lazarus Wiki.
There you go.
Because Abel, I think, would... Oh, that's the one
Doug.
out of hyperlink. Oh, it is Doug. Okay.
Okay.
So Lazarus was racing. So Axel's... I'd say Axel's the main character.
I think so.
Just because he's got main character energy.
100%.
Leland, Hirsch is the leader. Doug is the second in command leader. The black dude. Elena's the hacker. And then, I think you were right.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Oh, Christine. Oh,
yeah.
It's Christine. Cute. And a popcorn wizard, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah. No, it was a fantastic group of characters.
Yeah. They all played it, each other off so well.
Yeah.
Or played off of each other so well. And each of them had their own unique relationship with another person in the cast, I think.
I love that Doug's only thing he brought to the team was just basically he's good at herding cats.
Yeah, decision making.
Yeah.
But I will say, like...
you said that you were like, it's cool that there's, like, black characters in a lead position.
Right. Because I feel like with anime, you don't get that.
With anime, with honestly, like, a lot of media. You
with
just
a lot
see
of media,
subtle,
yeah.
well done, like...
But it was very subtle, but he's the one that's pushing the team. He's the one who's saying, like, hey, what do we need to do next? And I did think that was a really cool piece of representation that you just don't get a lot.
I think, like, one of my issues would be, like, how realistic is this team dynamic? But, like, because it's, like, it's a team
they got together, like, they got along quickly.
Yeah, like, they...
But at the same time...
were so fun to watch. They worked so well together. But the world was ending. Like there's no no room for argument. There was no room for infighting. Like it's like we have 30 days to get this job done. So like, it kind of gave me like Ocean's 11 vibes of a heist team put together. Heist.
Love a good heist.
I think it's the jazz parts of it, where it's like very jazz, improv heavy kind of thing.
Can we also talk about the fight scenes?
Oh,
they were so good.
Yes.
And it was kind of weird watching them because I think we both like realized this at the same time, because when you said it I was thinking the exact same thing. But they were it seemed like slow motion compared to like other animes,
but it was realistic.
But they were so well done, and they were just like fun to watch. And then you have Axel and Chris doing like a dance while fighting. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, how am I supposed to recover?
No, the mechanics of the way the body moved in fights was very well done. I mean, it was very realistic and impressive. Yeah, I mean, this is Watanabe. He did Cowboy Bebop, and I think he said that this is in the Cowboy Bebop universe.
Okay.
Before
or after?
I imagine before, maybe. It feels like there's not too much space travel in this, and Cowboy Bebop's in space, I believe. But no, Watanabe is like he makes just very like poetic stuff because of his like jazz influence. I should probably make sure. I believe Watanabe's a guy. I'm not familiar with. Okay, I thought so. But yeah, Watanabe's like very like. I think they did Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo is. I think that's the one with. Oh, who's in that? There's someone famous in that. But again, like very jazz heavy, very like fluid fight scenes. I think the intro for Lazarus, I think Kamasi Washington did that.
Wow. And
Kamasi Washington's a huge American jazz composer. Like
that's so cool.
Like honestly, it was kind of funny. I was just watching Friday Night Football in Brazil, and Kamasi Washington did the national anthem.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. What? Yeah, so like it's just like it's so cool to see how Watanabe takes a music genre of jazz.
Yeah. And
you can watch his stuff and just be like, yep. And just point to each moment where you're like, this feels like jazz.
Yeah.
Very improv, very fluid though. Like, and so I think the fight scenes alone were a great indication of that. The soundtrack was gorgeous. The intro, I'm not one that I like to watch intros of any show, anime, non-anime. I'll admit some anime intros are fantastic. I mean, we talked about the One Piece new intro not a few episodes ago. But this was one where I was just like, I could listen to this on a drive to work.
It's like, this feels like study music.
Yeah, like it's so good. It was nominated for an Emmy for like best original like main title theme music.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Like,
it's cool to see like more and more animes get nominated.
But I mean, that is Kamasi Washington, so of course it's going to get nominated.
Yeah. I did find it to be like a really just reflective anime of like,
my gosh, yeah.
What like the current state of the world, because you also have like the islands that they have to go to that have disappeared because they are currently underwater. And so it's really interesting to see like I feel like I found myself asking the question of like, is that what could happen? Is that what like
I think there's like about 1,000 different things you could point at and be like, this is a metaphor for something.
Yeah.
Even like when they were like, and the sign of Hopna that you're about to die is the starry eyes. I was like, this just feels like it's saying something.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen something where like it's 13 episodes and each second of the show felt like it was trying to communicate something to me.
Yeah.
More than just what the story was.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we can go back to it. How did you feel when we went, we finished the show, credits are rolling, and we're seeing the fallout of the Hopna vaccine, everything's saved, and in the very end it goes, 0 days left, for us.
Right. It was like, I think I felt a little bit empty because I was like, and I turned to you, I remember saying, like, this doesn't feel like a happy ending. Mm-mm. And it's weird because the whole goal of the anime was to find Skinner, discover the cure, and you did. But, like, you went on that same, like, thought process and journey that Skinner did, along with this team, to realize, like, no, like, something's wrong with the way humanity is going right now, and something, like, needs to change.
Even the point that throughout the show, it's been 10 days left, 20 days left, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that it said, for us. So it turns the camera to us. Oh,
actually, I did not realize that.
It turned the camera to us. It showed us the mirror. And I want to say that I think I'm getting chills thinking about it. What really hit me was not just that, but the fact it said that. And then, we're watching on HBO Max. It says that. And then it pops up next to watch. And it was this moment of, I just watched this show that warned me about losing humanity, about the world ending, the seventh horseman blowing the trumpet, like all this stuff.
Oh, there was a 7.
Yeah. All this stuff. And then it gave me this final thing of like, we are out of time. It's over. There's no, like, I'm sorry if this motivated you to save the world, but it is too late. Like all this stuff. And then what does it offer me next? It offers me a decision of what I want to binge next.
Yeah, to like shut it off.
This sense of like, how are we drowning out the noise of the world dying around us? And I don't know if that, obviously that might not have been intentional of a streaming service and stuff, but like, it was the way they structured it was the very last second of the episode, so that when that final screenshot happened, if you're on a streaming service, it then pulls up next to watch. If you watch streaming, you know how streaming works. And so it felt very intentional of like, this warning of we're out of time. Are you going to close the streaming service off and figure out what to do, or are you just going to binge the next murder documentary?
No, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because throughout Lazarus, like when they go to the club, like people are still partying. And it reminded me a lot of Don't Look Up, the movie, where it's like we're told constantly to just look at our screen, distract ourselves with Instagram, with TikTok, with movies, and we're putting ourselves out of a job. Don't watch anime, and don't focus on the dangers around us. Don't look up at the meteor falling on you. Don't look at the earth dying around you. Yeah, that is interesting, because I've noticed for myself, like the more I'm on a social media platform, just the more I just get like desensitized.
Yeah.
Of like, that headline doesn't seem like
it's dangerous enough.
Yeah, and there is a very real danger to that, because you lose your empathy.
Yeah. So I definitely think to end the episode with 0 days left for us, and then instantly give us a decision. Are we going to keep binge watching something?
Yeah.
It feels like it's got to be pointed, because it just added to the effect of it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I sat there after we finished it, and I was like, I feel uncomfortable. Like, I just don't feel good.
No. Watch Sakamoto Days after this.
Yeah.
No, it
or don't actually sit in that uncomfortability and figure it out.
Yeah, don't binge the next thing.
Yeah,
no, it definitely.
You just talked about.
I know. I'm trying to keep our jobs. Yeah, it's. I think it's an anime that's meant to make you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like Wall Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo are fun adventures, and their commentaries on things as well. I think that this was meant to be all commentary, no adventure.
Mm-hmm. Which is such a switch from the trailer, where we first saw Axel.
Yeah.
And like Axel is like this really like...
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. You mentioned the fighting. I believe that one of the creative directors on this was a fight choreographer for John Wick stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
I remember when they first announced this, they were like, yeah, someone from the fight choreographer from John Wick is working on this for the fight scenes. And everyone's like, holy crap, this anime is about to have amazing fight scenes. So that's part of why it probably looks so realistic and so like...
That's true.
Timed out well.
All right, well, anyway.
Sorry, it just popped in my mind. I had to say that, yeah.
I mean, like, between the trailer... Like, the trailer... how do I want to phrase this?
It was an
I
adventure.
guess
it was this treasure hunt, this fun, like, we have to save humanity by finding this guy.
I got something way more out of Lazarus than I thought I would,
100%.
especially based on the trailer. But I do think, like, I loved Axel as a character. Like, everyone's gonna love Axel, right? Like, he's the fun, like...
But even Axel
Devil
has,
may
like,
care.
really serious moments.
Yeah, and I do think you need a character like Axel to balance out some of the show's seriousness a little bit. Where this man's, like, eating
from the rafter
after shooting. Or, like, eating the popsicle in the background.
Yeah.
So...
But what's interesting is... Who was the character when they found Skinner that he had to ask a question of Skinner?
Yeah.
It was Axel. They found Skinner and everyone sat back, but Axel was the one that was like, Skinner, I need to know, like, why you did this.
Yeah.
Like you said, Axel was carefree the whole time. If you told me he didn't care about the job, I would have believed you.
I would have believed you, yeah.
He was happy to be out of prison and just messing around, kicking ass, like he said, right? But then they get to Skinner, and who's the one that steps forward and is like, I need to know.
Yeah.
And I think we finally see his mask kind of slip away, and we see who Axel really is.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe he was more worried than he thought he was, right? Like, maybe this felt more pressure than he was. And, like, some people, they act carefree when they are stressed because that's how they get rid of that stress. And I think that could be Axel. But, yeah, I think that is interesting. Like, Axel was very carefree, like you said, but he was the one that talked to Skinner at the end.
Yeah. I want to kind of touch on this too, but Lazarus just did a really subtle job of bringing in representation.
Not even, like, it did a fantastic
It did a good job.
Holy cow.
And I guess what I'm trying to say, it did
This
a good job.
BS.
But it was so, like, subtle, and it felt natural, and it just, like, and the reason I say that is because you see, I can't, like, it didn't feel like tokenization, and I come from a place where I am, like, white and also straight, so
you couldn't tell by her voice.
So there is that, but I just, like, you don't see, like they go to the homeless camp, and there's, like, LGBTQ plus representation,
Yep.
and then you also have Chris, who, like, has a woman that she loves, and, like, it's not... I'm gonna phrase it as it's not so in your face.
It's not.
Like, it feels so natural, and that's what it should feel, because it is,
we talked
right?
about last night when we were talking about the VMAs. If you watch the VMAs, Sabrina Carpenter performed one of her newest songs, and in the show she had trans and drag performers dancing with her on stage, and it felt like it was very natural. It was one of those things where you're just like, yep, here's these dancers. You don't think about it, right? And we talked about last night how sometimes that's the most important, the best way to do representation, where it's just something where you're just like, you see it over and over again, and it becomes natural, and you're just like, yeah, like, these are people that exist. They love to dance. They care. They, some of them can be homeless. Like, you just see these different ways that they exist, and you're like, they're no different than who I am as a person. And I think in a show about humanity, it's so important to show these different facets of humanity, where it's like, whether you're trans, like the leader of the homeless community, whether you're unhoused, like what we saw in the homeless community, whether you're bisexual, like what we saw with Chris. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just so much where you're just like, all these people are still fearing for their life. Mm-hmm. They're still wanting to survive, and, like, they're still human at the end of the day. And yeah, I think it was very subtle, where you're just like the leader of the unhoused community, I don't remember their name, was a transgender woman. Legit, they show up. I think Axel knew them from prison. Yeah. They show up. Axel was like, whoa, you're a girl now? And I think they were like, yeah. And then they moved on. Mm-hmm. Don't see them for the rest of the show. They show up in the finale, and then I think I'd say maybe 5 minutes of screen time for this person. Yeah. But it, like, wasn't, like, it just was nothing where it was, I could not imagine an excuse for why someone would hate that. Right. Like, I don't care how conservative you are. I just could not imagine someone being like, oh, it's in your face. It's not in your face. It's 5 minutes out of a 13-episode, 20-minute episode show.
Yeah.
And it's like, they didn't have romantic relations with anyone. They didn't, like, they legit were like, oh, you're trans? Yeah, cool. That was it. Like, it was nothing where it was just, like, no forced ideologies. It was just, this person exists.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great way to do it.
I think so, too.
I think there is, like, something we said about, like, the necessity of, obviously, like, people are a part of different marginalized communities being targeted, and we need to stop that, and, like, that is important, and we need to hit on that. But I also think there's an importance of subtle showings of people, and especially in a show about humanity, right? And to really get in people's mind, like, these are humans too.
Yeah.
That
I think
struggle.
like you just see so much media where it's just, it feels like something's like checking a box.
Yeah.
And
no box
to me, again, like, coming from a place of like such humility, because I can't relate to that. But like, this representation didn't feel like checking a box.
Yeah.
Like, it just, again, like, it felt so natural, and that's what it should be, because like, people are people, you know, like.
Yeah, and so let's bring up Eternals, the Disney movie, because that's one where everyone's like, Disney's just checking the box with the gay couple, if you remember. Brian.
I haven't watched that movie in so long,
Brian Tyler
actually.
Henry, Brian Tyler. The black actor from Eternals, where they go to his home and he's got a husband, and there's the gay kissing scene, and everyone's like, Disney's just checking their box. Do you like, what was different about that? I guess that didn't feel subtle compared to this, where it just felt.
I don't know if that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that's a good question for me, because I don't remember.
You don't remember? No, that's fair.
I think
is
what
it the fact
it is.
Like, it was like a whole show without anything about diversity and stuff, and then all of a sudden the one gay scene, and then nothing else.
I mean, that, I think you see it a lot in fantasy books, because I read a lot, if you can't tell, whether Mon were something else, and Mon was not very representative at times. Well, I guess that's not true. Well, okay. Edit this out, because, moving on. But, like, you see it a lot in, like, the book talk popular, you know, where, like, there's been so much discussion that I've seen of, like, just because you say a character has tan skin and then move on, like, doesn't make your book diverse. Or, like, you have so many characters, and you could argue that Lazarus did this as well, but, like, you say they're bisexual, but they always end up with a person of the opposite gender, which is fine, and that happens. That totally happens.
Like, being bisexual feels like a cop-out to, like, they're a little gay, but they're always going to be with the hetero.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, and I hope this, like, doesn't, like, I hope this doesn't sound awful, and I'm really sorry if it does.
No, I mean, if you rarely see representation of bisexual people being with the same sex.
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes a pattern at a certain point.
I think it has become a pattern, and this is an anime-related talk, but, like, with a lot of, like, the popular books that you're seeing nowadays, I think it has become such a pattern, or, like, you know, they may mention, like, a skin tone, but then, like, culture or, like, that sort of, like, background isn't threaded throughout the book as well.
Yeah.
So it's a passing reference to make the author be able to say, I have diversity in my book, but it's not really shown as much. So it's
do you think
kind of a cop-out.
Yeah. So do you think it's best to attempt subtle diversity in TV shows where you do, like, a few minutes here and there throughout the show, so it feels like it's just woven throughout, rather than a 2-hour movie, here's our 30-second gay scene? Like, is that like a good way of, like, and then maybe a book's the same way, where it's like, here's a 400-page book, here's our 1 page of a gay person, and then we're back to 399 where there's no gay people. Right? Like, I feel like the reason that something like this feels more subtle in its, like, showings of diversity is because it's different episodes, so it's, like, spread out, and it just feels more woven into the story, rather than if we watch a 2-hour movie, there's nothing about this, and then all of a sudden a quick scene about it, and then nothing else. Right.
I think what it is like, you look at Lazarus and you're pulling out a few different characters.
So maybe more than just one character, one scene. So you get 2 hour movie, but you have 3 characters, 3 scenes.
Like with some of the books that I've seen critiques on, or like even read myself, you'll get that passing mention once, and then it just won't come back.
Yeah. So
and
kind
so
of 400 pages, one page. Yeah.
So it gives you kind of that like plausible deniability of like
we did it.
Like I have a diverse book.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
But it's
like both sides where it's like
yeah.
It's not too much diversity.
And I think like you just need to come from a place of humility, especially if you're white, and trying to incorporate this in your books. Like I think that having real conversations with real people.
I just think I think it's a lot of like diversity isn't unnatural.
Right.
And there's going to be times like there's going to be times throughout my day where if I'm from a community that's not super diverse and I go to the local grocery store, maybe I don't see a lot of diversity. But if I go a town over that's more populated, and I might see a lot of diversity, right? And like if I drive, we have a city near us that's an hour away and is a big city and is very diverse, and I know I can drive there and probably see a vast different cast of characters, and it wouldn't feel like these characters are forced on me. It wouldn't feel like they're, all in my... Like, it's diversity. And so I think it's part of it's knowing the nuance of when to show that diversity. Yeah. Of like, oh, this character's gay. And then we don't see them again.
One book that, if I may go on a tangent, but it came to mind, but one book that does a really good job of this, I think, is Legendborn, which is one of my 5-star reads from this year, by the way. But that book has the most diverse cast of characters I have read, and part of that's on me. Like, I should be reading more diverse books. And so, luckily, I found some really great creators on Instagram. But, like, with that book, you have 2 side characters that are lesbians, and they're in a relationship. But, like, throughout the book, they're not, like... They're girlfriends.
Hear them kissing.
They're girlfriends. You'll see them like, it'll be like they walked in together, or they sat like next to each other. They like held hands. They feel like a real couple.
I mean, think about us. Like, we're not gonna walk into a restaurant hanging off each other and kissing all the time,
right?
But it feels like a lot of the time, like when people put same-sex couples in media, there's got to be some sexual moment between them. And there's got to be, like, a lot of, like, touching. Be like, oh, yeah, these 2 are characters because they're touching a lot. But it's, like, looking at, like, our own relationship. Yeah. Like, there's times where we'll go out, not hold hands once. Yeah. But, like, that's a normal couple thing, right? Right. Some couples are very physical touch. Some are, like, it's just, there's a spectrum to it.
Yeah. And I think there's a scene in this book, too, where one of the girls gets angry and, like, storms off. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And then the other one's like, oh, I'll go after her. Mm-hmm. Because like, that's your partner. That's the one that's going to be able to understand you and calm you down. And so I have really liked Legendborn for the diversity that it's shown.
All right. There's a Lazarus
anime!
All right. We've got a haunting ending. We've got great use of biblical themes. We've got great commentaries on environmental awareness and just human awareness, I guess you could say. And we've got fantastic representation, great fighting. We've outlined all this stuff. Is Lazarus anime of the year material? I would vote it for anime of the year, hands down. And you can't, like, you can say Lord of Mysteries is better. Yeah, you can say the animation's great. I think the implications of Lazarus, when you watch it, when you think about it, when you have a takeaway about it, when you just sit there in the uncomfortability of the ending, it deserves anime of the year, because I think what it's saying is more than what Lord of Mysteries is saying. Granted, we only got 7 episodes in. The animation's phenomenal. Great anime. Yeah. I think it will win anime of the year. I think Lazarus deserves more discussion than it has gotten. I stand by that. No, I think that's a great take. Here's my view on it, is my personal belief is you do not get to be anime of the year if you are not the complete story. And I mean, you can at me in the comments, please. I want to hear your point of view. But my belief is that if the point of manga and anime is to tell a story, that the best of the best anime we have seen all year long, right, has to be something that tells a story. And I just don't think something where it's like, here's season 2 of JJK out of 5 seasons. I just don't like the story's not complete. Like, it can be a fantastic season. It can be phenomenal.
Should have used season 1 because season 2 did have a complete story with the hidden inventory arc.
But Gojo's story's not done yet. Gato's relationship isn't done yet.
Whatever.
So here's what I'm saying is, like, I just don't think that you can be the best of the best anime unless your story is complete, because how you tell your story, a lot of how that wraps up, or how that, like, the importance of in the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Is how do you finish it? What's the final message you have for your viewers?
And how does everything tie together? And
that's why I think Tokopi's Original Sin, for sure, full story, 6 episodes. Lazarus, for sure, 13 episodes. All right, sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. But yeah, I feel like anime of the year has to be something that's wrapped up and finished, because that's a big part of storytelling. So
I think that's a valid take. I think it's a hot take, and I can't decide whether I agree or disagree with it.
Totally fine. So like I said, let me know what you guys think. This is our Lazarus review. Go check out the anime. There's a fantastic anime, HBO Max. I don't know if it's on Crunchyroll.
Why did I think it was on Netflix?
No idea. Watanabe, beautiful, beautiful storytelling.
Phenomenally done.
If you guys like what we had to say, please give us a follow, give us a like. Let us know what we should review next for anime, because we're kind of still figuring it out, what we want to do next.
No, I thought we decided.
Did we?
Gachakuda
next. I heard some mixed things. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's tea. Okay, anyway.
Tell your friends about us, and we will see you guys next time.